Hello, my name is Harold, and I am 86 years old. I never imagined I would write something like this, but I feel it is important to share my experience. I moved into a nursing home 3 years ago. I believed it would be the best choice for me and my family. Now, I wish I had known more before making that decision. I hope by reading this, you or your loved ones can avoid the same regrets I now carry. In this script, I will share my 5 biggest regrets about moving into a nursing home. These regrets are not meant to scare you, but to prepare you. I want you to make a decision based on truth, not just brochures or quick promises. So let's begin. Regret 1. Losing my independence. Before I moved into the nursing home, I lived in my small home with a little garden. I could cook, take walks, read books, or simply enjoy a quiet afternoon. I thought that moving into a facility wouldn't change much. I believed I would still be able to do what I liked, when I liked. But soon after I arrived, I realized things were different. Everything runs on a schedule here. Meals are at set times. Activities are planned. Lights go off at a certain hour. I even need permission or assistance just to go outside. At first, it felt like a minor adjustment, but as time passed, it felt like I was slowly losing control over my own life. I couldn't decide when to eat, when to sleep, or even when to bathe. That freedom I once took for granted was gone. If I had known how much independence I would lose, I would have looked for other options, maybe in-home care or living with family. I now realize that independence isn't just about physical movement. It's about dignity, choice, and self-worth. Regret 2. Underestimating the emotional toll. Loneliness is hard to explain. Even though I am surrounded by other people here, it can feel like I am alone. I miss my neighbors, my old routines, and the small joys of daily life. The people here are nice, but it's not the same as being with those who really know and love you. At times, I feel like I have become invisible. Staff come and go. They are often too busy to talk. Friends from outside visit less and less. I know they have their own lives, but it still hurts. The emotional toll of living in a place where I don't feel truly at home has affected my health. I'm not as cheerful as I used to be. I don't laugh as often. I find myself looking back instead of looking forward. If someone had told me how heavy the emotional side of this move would be, I might have thought twice. We often talk about physical care, but emotional care is just as important. If you're considering a nursing home, ask how they handle the emotional well-being of residents. Regret 3. Believing the marketing too quickly. The brochures were beautiful. The staff were friendly during the tour. Everything looked clean and well organized. I was shown happy residents playing games and smiling. It felt like the right place. But after moving in, I saw the reality. Yes, the building is clean, but the staff are often overworked. Meals are repetitive. Activities are limited. And not everyone here is smiling. Marketing is meant to sell. That's the truth. They show you the best and hide the rest. I regret not asking harder questions. I didn't talk to current residents. I didn't read reviews or ask families who already had someone here. Next time, if I had the chance again, I would dig deeper. I would visit unannounced, ask for honest answers, and really try to see what life is like beyond the tour. Regret 4. Ignoring other care options. When my children suggested a nursing home, it seemed like the easiest and safest route. But now I know there were other options we didn't explore fully. There are services that send caregivers to your home. There are retirement communities where you have your own apartment, but help is nearby. Some families even adjust their homes so elders can live with them. I regret not trying these ideas first. I thought a nursing home was the only way to stay safe, but safety doesn't have to come at the cost of freedom and happiness. A little research might have made a big difference. Now, I encourage others to think long and hard. Don't rush into a decision just because it seems convenient. What works for one person might not work for another. Regret 5, not preparing emotionally or mentally. I thought I was ready. I packed my things. I smiled on the way here. I told myself I was doing the right thing. But inside, I wasn't prepared for what came next. Change is hard at any age, but at 86, it feels even harder. Leaving behind my home, my memories, and my comfort shook me. I didn't give myself time to truly grieve or to adjust slowly. I regret not talking to someone about my fears. I regret not asking my family to help me prepare. Maybe if I had accepted that it was okay to be scared, I could have handled the transition better. If you're thinking about this move, take time to prepare mentally. Speak to a counselor, pastor, or a trusted friend. Talk about your feelings. Don't bottle it all up like I did. It only makes it harder. Part 2. What life in a nursing home is really like. Now that you've read my regrets, I want to share what daily life here actually looks like. Some of it is routine. Some of it is sad. But there are also moments of comfort and reflection. I hope this gives you a deeper understanding of what to expect if you or someone close to you moves into a nursing home. Mornings start early. Too early for someone like me who used to enjoy sleeping in. Staff come around before 7 a.m. to help with dressing, washing, and getting ready for breakfast. There's no option to skip it or sleep in. If you miss breakfast, you wait until lunch. Breakfast is basic, usually toast, porridge, sometimes eggs. It's not bad, but it's not the same as cooking what you want in your own kitchen. There is no smell of bacon sizzling in a pan or the comfort of choosing your favorite cereal from your own cupboard. After breakfast, there may be an activity. Bingo, trivia, music therapy. The staff do their best, but it's not always engaging. Some residents enjoy it. Others, like me, sometimes sit quietly in the corner, thinking of better days. Lunch is served around noon. The food again is simple. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, soup. It fills you up, but it's not made with love like home cooking. Sometimes the meals remind me of hospital food. Nutritious but forgettable. Afternoons can be long. Some people nap. Others watch TV or read. I like to sit by the window and watch the trees. That's my favorite part of the day. There's peace in watching leaves move with the wind. Visiting hours are in the afternoon. That's when I hope to see my son or daughter. But visits are short and life is busy. They have their jobs, their kids. I understand, but I miss them every day. Dinner is early, usually before 6 p.m. Then it's time to get ready for bed. Staff help again. Pajamas, brushing teeth, lights out. It's hard to feel like an adult when your schedule is controlled like this. I know they mean well, but it doesn't feel like living. It feels like waiting. Evenings are quiet. Too quiet. The halls are dim. Sometimes you hear someone cry in the room next door. Sometimes you hear someone calling for help. It's not the kind of quiet that calms you. It's the kind that makes you feel very small and very old. I don't write all this to make you sad. I write it because it's real. This is the truth of my daily life. I get through each day with patience, with small routines, and with memories of a life I once lived more freely. Part 3. Finding moments of comfort. Even in a place where I feel regret, where the walls are plain and the air is filled with routine, there are still things that bring me comfort. I've learned that sometimes it's the smallest things that help you carry on. I want to share a few of those things with you. Not to suggest that life here is wonderful, but to show that even here, we seek joy wherever we can. One of my comforts is nature. Outside the nursing home, there's a small garden area. It's nothing like my old garden, but it's a patch of green with a few benches, flowers, and sometimes birds. I sit there whenever I can. I watch the bird hop around. I feel the breeze. It reminds me that the world is still beautiful, even if I don't get to see much of it. Another comfort is memory. I keep photo albums beside my bed. Pictures of my wife, who passed 10 years ago. Pictures of my children growing up. Even pictures of my first dog. When the days are slow or my heart feels heavy, I flip through those photos. They remind me of a full life, of love, and of laughter. I may not be in those places anymore, but those moments still belong to me. Music also brings me peace. Sometimes I listen to the old songs. Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald. Music has a way of reaching into your soul and bringing light. Some days, the staff play music in the common room. Not everyone pays attention, but I do. I hum along. I tap my fingers. For those few minutes, I feel like myself again. There are also kind staff members here. Not all, but some. One nurse, Mary, always makes time to ask how I am really doing. Not just a routine, "How are you today?" But she actually listens. When someone sees you as a person, not a task, it makes a difference. It helps you feel human. I've also made a few friends. Joe, in the room down the hall, used to be a school teacher. We talk about books. We play checkers now and then. He tells funny stories about his students. His laughter is contagious. Even here, friendship can bloom, even if it's slower and quieter than it used to be. Another source of comfort is faith. I've always believed in something greater than myself. Here, I have more time to pray, to think, and to reflect. There's a chaplain who visits weekly. We talk. We pray. Sometimes we just sit in silence. That silence, when shared, feels peaceful, not lonely. Lastly, letters mean the world to me. My granddaughter sends me handwritten letters. She writes about her school, her cat, her dreams. I read them over and over. Holding a letter in my hand feels different than reading an email or text. It's warm. It's real. It makes me feel remembered. So even here, where so much feels taken away, I've found little pieces to hold on to. If you do end up in a nursing home, or someone you love does, help them find those pieces. Bring the photos. Play the music. Visit as often as you can. Send letters. Sit outside with them. Let them tell you stories they've told before. Sometimes, all someone needs is to feel seen, heard, and valued. That's what I hope we all hold on to, no matter where we live. Part 4. What I would do differently. Looking back, I can see how many decisions were made too quickly. There was fear in the air, fear of falling, of being alone, of being a burden. That fear rushed our choices. We thought moving into a nursing home would solve everything, but it created new challenges we didn't expect. If I could go back and do it over, I would start by having more honest conversations with my family. We didn't talk about what I wanted. We talked about what was convenient or what seemed safest. I would have told them that I wasn't ready to leave my home yet, that I needed more help, yes, but not a full move. I wish I had spoken up louder. I would have explored more options. There are so many types of care out there. In-home caregivers, senior apartments with support services, even shared housing with other seniors. We didn't look at those. We only looked at nursing homes. I regret that, not because all nursing homes are bad, but because I never got to choose from everything that was available. I would have taken a trial period. Some places offer short stays. You can see what it's like before you make a big move. I didn't know that at the time. But if I had, I might have realized how different the reality is from the promise. Even just a week or two would have opened my eyes. Another thing I would do differently is prepare emotionally. I would talk to someone, a counselor, a friend, a pastor, about what this change really meant. I acted brave on the outside, but inside I was scared, confused, and grieving. I should have let myself feel all those things. I should have allowed myself time to adjust. I would have visited multiple homes, not just the one we picked. I would ask questions I didn't think to ask before. Questions like, how many staff are there at night? What's the emergency response time? Are there activities every day? Or just some days? Can I bring my own furniture? Do residents get to decide when to wake up, when to eat, and when to sleep? I would have also asked current residents how they felt, if they were happy, if they felt respected, if they had freedom. These are the people who know the truth, not the marketing team, not the tour guide. Lastly, I would give myself permission to change my mind. Just because you move somewhere doesn't mean you have to stay forever. If I had known I could change my care plan, try something else, or even move back home with help, I would have been more hopeful. But no one told me that. I thought this was the end of the road. It wasn't, but I didn't know it then. These are the things I wish I had done. I share them with you not to dwell on the past, but to give you tools. Ask questions. Take your time. Prepare your heart. Listen to your gut. And always remember that your voice matters. Your comfort matters. Your happiness matters. Part 5. A message to you from one heart to another. If you've read this far, I want to thank you, not just for your time, but for your willingness to listen. I may be just one voice, but this voice carries the weight of a lifetime of joys, mistakes, memories, and truths that matter more now than ever before. Growing old is not something to fear, but it is something to prepare for. It brings many changes, some beautiful and some difficult. But in all those changes, one thing remains the same: our need to feel seen, heard, and valued. When you are young, choices seem simple. When you are older, every choice feels like it carries more meaning, more finality. That's why the decision to move into a nursing home, or to help someone else do so, should never be rushed. It should be made with patience, clarity, and love. I want you to know that regret does not mean failure. I have regrets, yes, but I also have wisdom now, hard-earned wisdom that I can pass on to you. And if that helps even one person make a better, more informed decision, then these words will have served a purpose. Please don't wait until you're in crisis mode to start planning. Talk to your family while things are still calm. Discuss your wishes. Write them down. Be honest about your fears and your hopes. Tell them what matters most to you: freedom, comfort, connection, safety. These conversations may be hard, but they are necessary. That if you're a family member, listen deeply. Your loved one might not say everything clearly. They may be trying to protect you from worry. But pay attention to what they're not saying. Respect their need for autonomy. Help them explore all their options. Don't assume a nursing home is the only or best solution. If a nursing home truly is the right choice, make sure it's one that aligns with the person's values. Look past the fancy brochures. Look for the soul of the place. Are the staff kind? Do residents have choices? Is there laughter, warmth, humanity? Remember that dignity doesn't come from polished furniture or scheduled activities. It comes from being treated with respect. It comes from having agency over your day, even in small ways. It comes from having someone who listens to your story, even if they've heard it before. To those who are aging and feeling unsure, you are not alone. Aging is not weakness. It is strength carried through decades. You have earned the right to live well, to be honored, and to be part of decisions that affect you. And to those caring for an aging loved one, I see you. I know it's not easy. You're juggling emotions, responsibilities, and sometimes guilt. But your care matters. Your love matters. Just remember to ask, to listen, and to include your loved one in every step. They are not just someone to care for. They are someone with a story, a soul, and a voice that still deserves to be heard. I may not be able to change where I am now, but I can help you shape where you might be tomorrow. That is my hope. In the end, we all want the same things: to feel safe, to be loved, and to belong. May your choices reflect that truth. May your path be one of wisdom and kindness. And may we all, no matter our age, continue to live with purpose and heart. Thank you for reading my story.